Hi team, this is Andy from Creatively Disruptive. I wanted to just have a little chat about our word of the day, or our quote of the day. And the quote of the day is brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Elon Musk said that. So what did Elon kind of mean by, and what do I actually take from it? Actually, let's not pretend to know what's going on in Elon's brain, because he's a crazy genius and I'm not going to go down that route. But what is my takeaway from that? And my takeaway from that is a brand, which is a very valuable thing, and something that companies spend millions of dollars to do and to work on, um, is basically an intangible. It's a thing, it's a thought, it's a feeling, all right? And in reality, it's a perception, right? And the perception, of that brand, at least at the beginning, is very different when it comes to the owner and it comes to the reality. Like right now, the perception is, maybe I have some hair on the top of my head. The reality is I don't have a lot, but this weird green screen type thing is kind of making it look like I actually have some hair. So my brand that I want to have is that I've got hair. The reality is I don't. But maybe if I use this backdrop, which is a bit psychedelic and perception and reality kind of jogging, that if I use this enough, that maybe you guys might start thinking that I actually have hair. So coming back to reality, what that means for you is it's really important to build a brand and to build a message around that brand. And what ends up happening is your customers will start perceiving your company to be what that message is. What's important though is that you deliver on it. And what often happens with brands, especially if people do it well and do it thoughtfully, is that having that brand and having that brand message of what you want your customers to be. And if you do it correctly, it actually does turn into reality. So that perception of what your brand is and what you want your customers see it as actually will become reality if you do it right. Those that do it wrong, they often put out messages, and you've seen it all the time. They say, "Hey, this is who I am." They spend millions of dollars, sometimes, definitely thousands of dollars, getting out into the world. This is who we are, and there's a bit of a disconnect between what the client actually thinks that you are when they see your advertising to what they actually get, and that can actually be very, very negative. So it's very important to make sure that your messaging and your branding actually is being delivered in reality, right? The other part of it is, from a perception standpoint, this often takes time, and you need to be very consistent with it, and you need to make sure that, for example, if a gym just opened tomorrow, no one knows anything about it. You start doing the marketing and the advertising, and people, and maybe the gym is being built, people don't know who it is. It's going to take them a while for the community to start understanding what this business is about. But over time, if it's done right, they'll actually get a feeling and an emotion and an understanding of the company before the doors are even opened. And then when those doors open, and the company has done a good job of making sure that they're delivering on their message and delivering on their brand, that the customers come in already excited, already with expectations of what that reality will be. So whilst you might not have a brand, or whilst you're maybe not even thinking about it, it's really, really important. And the negative side of not having true control over your own brand message is that somebody else might take control over your brand message. And we've all heard of competitors and so forth who've been saying bad things about us, or different businesses, or different things that are out there. One gym might badmouth another gym to the local community, or a parent, or whatever. And then what happens if you don't have a counter message that actually can be backed up with reality? That perception and that brand becomes reality for those that aren't doing business with you. And what ends up happening is those people that aren't doing business with you, they never know what the reality becomes. So their reality becomes the perception that they've been given because somebody else is in control of your message. So I'm starting to get into the psychedelic nature of perception and branding, which is why I've got this background here. And it's not just about trying to make myself look like I've got hair, but I think it's really important for us as kids activity center managers and owners to really be thinking about what our brand is, what we want its perception to be, and to match that reality with that brand, right? Because over time, whether we're in control of it or somebody else is, somebody else will put a perception out there, and that over time will become the reality. And unfortunately, if it's negative, it'll become the reality of many in the community, and they'll never know any difference because they've never actually been able to actually walk through the doors because they're going, I've heard bad things about them, right? So in a nutshell, brand is just a perception, right? And perception will become reality over time, right? So have control over that perception, make sure that you get it out there. Don't let others, including marketers and so forth, control how your brand looks, the images that are in it, the words that are being used. You must have control over that brand because it's unique to you and unique to your business. So I hope that helps. I know I've kind of like spoken around. I feel like I should have some crazy 60s music playing with this backdrop here, but I hope you're having a good day, and I hope I might have helped you. Take care.